In practical life we are compelled to follow what is most probable. In speculative thought we are compelled to follow truth. There can be no hope without fear, and no fear without hope. Emotion, which is suffering, ceases to be suffering as soon as we form a clear and precise picture of it. In so far as the mind sees things in their eternal aspect, it participates in eternity. Baruch Spinoza. Spinoza in der Europäischen Geistesgeschichte. Be not astonished at new ideas, for it is well known to you that a thing does not therefore cease to be true, because it is not accepted by many. Fame has also this great drawback, that if we pursue it, we must direct our lives so as to please the fancy of men. Peace is not the absence of war, it is a virtue, a state of mind, a disposition of benevolence, confidence, justice. The more clearly you understand yourself and your emotions, the more you become a lover of what is. Be not astonished at new ideas, for it is well known to you that a thing does not therefore cease to be true, because it is not accepted by many. I do not know how to teach philosophy without becoming a disturber of the peace. The highest activity a human being can attain is learning for understanding, because to understand is to be free. Sin cannot be conceived in a natural state, but only in a civil state, where it is decreed by common consent what is good or bad. If men were born free, they would, so long as they remain free, form no conception of good and evil, for peace is not mere absence of war, but is a virtue that springs from a state of mind, a disposition for benevolence, confidence, justice. Nothing in the universe is contingent, but all things are conditioned to exist and operate in a particular manner by the necessity of the divine nature. Men govern nothing with more difficulty than their tongues, and can moderate their desires more than their words. All happiness or unhappiness solely depends upon the quality of the object to which we are attached by love. I would warn you that I do not attribute to nature either beauty or deformity, order or confusion. Only in relation to our imagination can things be called beautiful or ugly, well-ordered or confused. I have made a ceaseless effort not to ridicule, not to bewail, not to scorn human actions, but to understand them. How would it be possible if salvation were ready to our hand, and could without great labor be found, that it should be by almost all men neglected? But all things excellent are as difficult as they are rare. Reason cannot defeat emotion, and emotion can only be displaced or overcome by a stronger emotion. The highest endeavor of the mind, and the highest virtue, is to understand things by intuition. Indeed, just as light makes manifest both itself and darkness, so truth is the standard both of itself and falsity. Men believe themselves to be free, simply because they are conscious of their actions, and unconscious of the causes whereby those actions are determined. One and the same thing can at the same time be good, bad, and indifferent. Example: music is good to the melancholy, bad to those who mourn, and neither good nor bad to the deaf. To give aid to every poor man is far beyond the reach and power of every man. Care of the poor is incumbent on society as a whole. Emotional distress and unhappiness have their origin mostly in excessive love toward a thing subject to considerable instability. People are quite incapable of distracting their minds from thinking of any other goods besides riches, honor, and sensual pleasure, in so far as the mind sees things in their eternal aspect, it participates in eternity. Baruch Spinoza.